Hey guys, welcome back from break. I hope you had an awesome time like I did. I was in Pittsburgh, and yes, I'm mad that the Saints won yesterday. But today we're going to be awesome, and we're doing all kinds of new stuff. We're going back to economics. We only did Louisiana history for a couple days before the field trip, but now we're going back to talking about money and how people make money, which is economics, one of my favorite things to talk about. Today, we're going to be talking about different types of money around the world and why those things are different. So, first on your sheet, you have a chart on the right that looks like this one right here, and then you also have some places to fill in the blank. Listen to me while you fill those in. It's pretty simple. You can go through and figure it out. So, the first thing to know for today is that every country has its own money, its own type of money, and that type of money is called a currency. When we're passing around the coins, you'll be able to see that some different types of money that different countries use. These are just coins. These countries also have bills and stuff too, just like we do, but they can be exchanged, whether for goods or services or other currencies in that other country or here. So when you go to another country, you can't go and spend dollars. You have to spend that country's currency. So the first thing you have to do is to take your dollars and exchange those dollars for the currency of that country. Usually what people do now is they just withdraw money using their credit card from an ATM in another currency when they go to a new country. But somehow you have to get that other currency before you can spend it. Just like you can't spend these monies here in the US, you can't spend dollars in those countries. So that what that's called, that difference, that like how much you can get of one currency for another currency, is called the exchange rate. And these exchange rates change all the time. Maybe one day I can get 5 Japanese yen for a dollar, and the next day I could get 7 Japanese yen for a dollar. It depends on the economic conditions in the two countries, but those exchange rates can change. So if you look over here at this chart, and you have the same one on your paper if you want to check it out, it says currency units per dollar. Those are the exchange rates of each of those different currencies. So for example, if we went to Russia, here's Russia right here, and then we could get 31 of their money. Their money is called rubles. So we would get 31 rubles for $1. If we went to China, we would get 6.36 yuan, which is what it's called in China, for $1. So wherever you go, you're exchanging for that money. That's the exchange rate, how many you can get. So one way that people measure these is based on the price of different goods and different services in a country. A really famous one is called the Big Mac Index, and that's basically showing the price of a Big Mac in each different country. So in the United States, the average price of a Big Mac is $3.22. And so that's $3.22 in dollars. But if we went to Argentina, which is the next on the list, then we would pay 8.25 pesos for that same Big Mac. That doesn't mean that that's more expensive than the Big Mac in the United States. In fact, if we change that 8.25 into dollars, that gives us $2.65, so $2.65 for the same Big Mac that we would have gotten in the United States. So that's really saying that Big Macs are cheaper in Argentina than they are in the United States. You can look down the list and check out the prices of Big Macs. Remember, if you want to see how cheap it is in that country, you've got to look at this column. This one only tells you in the local currency, so you'd have to go through the exchange rate to figure out how many that is in dollars, but they do that for you already here. So think about which ones are cheapest, which ones are more expensive. And then the big question to think about is, why do goods cost different amounts in different countries, right? Why is that Big Mac only $2.65 in Argentina, whereas it's $3.22 in the United States? And the biggest answer to that is really that people get paid more in the United States than they do in Argentina. So your In Argentina, if you're working in McDonald's, maybe you're only making $4 an hour instead of in the United States where you're making 8. So then Big Macs cost less in Argentina because they have to pay the people less, even though it's all the same ingredients. So think about that for these different countries while you check those out. Now we're going to review real quick. You've got these 5 questions. You should be able to get these snapdoodle. Go ahead, finish at 100.